One of the things that people commonly ask me is, how do I get started? What do I do with like X amount of money? What business could I start? What business should I start? And really, like the hardest thing sometimes when you get going is just picking a direction to go, because sometimes there's a paradox of choice where when you can go any direction, it's almost harder to go a direction. The other day, what was normally my Curiosity Friday, it was a day that was like this, and so I have to admit that like I ended up staying home, because it was easier, or that was resistance talking stuff. And the thing about like anytime you want to make a change, anytime you want to get things going, resistance kicks in, as Stephen Pressfield talks about. It's much easier to just kind of say, oh, it's a rainy day. Oh, I need more money to do this. Rather than seeing what ways creatively you can achieve something. And more importantly, to just get going. Because the thing is, it's like when you're in motion, it's much easier to change direction. It's much easier to pivot than a parked car, when you're stationary. I mean, we know that, like when a parked car is just basically, we've all tried to crank the wheel, and it's much harder to turn it and stuff. So one of the things that the idea that Minamoto Musashi, from the Book of the Five Rings, one of the greatest samurai warriors, talked about this idea of crossing the ford, that when others are staying home and they're comfortable and stuff, you've got to cross the ford. You've got to be willing to come out on a rainy day like this and shoot a video. You got to be willing to stay up to 12 at night to launch your website. You've got to be willing to, put in the effort to send out that email. Mike Rowe in Dirty Jobs talks about how the people that he saw made it didn't follow their passion. In fact, I kind of wrote something about this as well, about the idea of screw passion, because really, you often end up getting yourself into something that, you just either have no business doing, or that you're just not, you're not built for doing. It just that thing where we've all seen the American Idol singers who really struggle, that they have no business being on the stage and stuff like that. I mean, I get it, it's great to, and that's what's funny, is that I still do talk about people sharing their talent and doing what it is that, makes them thrive and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is that, like, when you're talking about business, or you're talking about a way to make a living and stuff, you need to look at something more. You need to look at what is the intersection of your talents with what the world needs, and what you can really do and stuff. And the part that lights you up, you want to find that, and that takes time. And over time, you will find it. The thing is that, like, if you stay stuck on that, you may never get to the other parts. A friend of mine struggled with willpower, and he thought that the way, or the solution to his problems, was to basically toughen up and just do things to overcome. And willpower, to some degree, you can strengthen, you can, build your resolve. Certainly that's what a lot of military training is about. At the same time, though, there's a limitation. Like, we only have so much willpower. It's kind of like the life bar in video games, where you start off with a full bar, and then as you get shot or different things happen, the bar keeps going down. And there's been videos, like TED Talks about this, and it's really, well documented that our willpower is limited. So really, the thing there, I believe, is that you have to choose what you direct your willpower towards, and put first things first. If you don't choose the big rocks first, you may never get to them at all. So that's one of the things that I really find is important with the idea of being aware, conscious of your willpower